There are no strings on me.
Hey, what is going on, everybody? It is your boy Carnage, your primitive AK here, back with another video for you guys today. Today we are here with the most ideal and best settings for Call of Duty Warzone, which is a brand new free-to-play battle royale which was just released as I'm doing this. And as I am doing this commentary, the game is officially free to play for all players who do not have Modern Warfare installed. So get in there, make sure you guys get that game downloaded. But today we're going to be talking about the best settings to be using for Warzone game mode, because I know I recently uploaded a settings video to my channel roughly about a week and a half ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. But the reason why I decided to do another one is because there's going to be a lot of brand new players that are going to be jumping into Warzone, and they want to know the best settings, the best options to use for when dealing with combat in this weapon, in this game. And there's going to be a lot of different changes here, so we're going to cover every single one of them. They actually added a few new settings as well, which we'll be covering. So if you guys are new, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. Let's get right into this video. So let's talk about the settings here. We're going to talk about the basics first, then we're going to jump into the advanced settings. So your button layout preset, it's going to be very based on the type of controller that you're using. Now, I use a scuff controller. It has paddles on the back, which is why I'm able to basically slide, jump, reload, swap weapons without ever taking my hand off the thumbstick. But if you're using a standard controller, you want to keep your button layout over on tactical. What this is going to do is it's going to swap out your melee and crouch button to crouch button as R3 and your melee button as the circle button. You're not really going to be meleeing much. That's why you want to move it over to the other side. And your crouch, you want to be able to crouch and get out of gunfights as quickly as possible. Crouch, walk up the stairs if you have to. So that's where tactical comes in handy. If you have a scuff controller, you want to leave this on default, because the paddles are going to be on the back of the controller, which means that you'll have the default layout, and they want to leave that on default. Your stick layout, don't touch that. If you really want to flip out some things here, you can do that if you want, but I don't recommend doing that. Invert vertical look, don't touch. Your horizontal stick sensitivity, this is the sensitivity on how fast your controller is going to be moving, pretty much left to right, and vertical is up and down. So you want to keep these numbers the same most of the time. I know there are some cases where pro players actually have the top number lower and the bottom number higher, but if you're not really used to that, I recommend just keeping it as is. Now, sensitivity is all personal preference. Some people prefer playing on max sensitivity, but I will say this, and this is something that a lot of people don't realize: the lower the sensitivity is, the more of an accurate player you're going to be. Now, I've been playing at a 6 sensitivity since about Modern Warfare 2. I never play on high sensitivity, so that's about where you want to put it. I recommend starting at about 6 or 7, and then just kind of adjust it from there and see exactly what helps out the best. Your ADS sensitivity multiplier, this is how fast your sight is going to be moving when you're ADSing. So if you leave this at 1.0, it's going to be at a 6 sensitivity. You bring this down to a 0.75, that's going to bring it down to about a 4 sensitivity. So I recommend turning this down to about a 0.75 or maybe even a 0.8, just so that way you can better acquire your target, especially at longer ranges. When you're playing Warzone, you're going to be dealing with a lot of long range fights. Your aim response curve, this is another important setting that a lot of people are going to be confused on and what exactly it means. So I have mine on linear. What this means is that every time I move my right thumbstick, the game is going to respond to that exact amount that I have inputted inside of the game. So for example, if I move my thumbstick to the far right, like aggressively, it's going to aggressively move my aim assist based on the amount of force that I've put on side of the thumbstick. If you leave this on standard, pretty much it's going to gradually increase it as much as you move it. If you put it on dynamic, that's where things get a tad bit crazy. I really don't recommend messing with that, because dynamic basically tries to auto adjust your aim for you, and you really don't want that. You want to have full control over it. So to have that full control, I recommend leaving this on linear. Your controller vibration, leave this on off. Believe it or not, vibration actually does mess up your aim just a very tad bit, just a little bit, enough where it can cause a bit of an issue. Your aim assist, keep this on standard. Precision's really only if you're going to be sniping a lot. You could try precision if you're going to be sniping a lot in Warzone, like if you're just a dedicated sniper. That's where I recommend you turn this up to precision. But if you're playing, run and gun style, you're going for 20 kills in Warzone, leave this over on standard. Your weapon mount activation, keep this on ADS and melee. Your weapon mount movement exit, keep it on enabled. Aim down sight behavior over on hold. Equipment behavior on hold. Use reload behavior, tap to reload. You don't want to use this tap to use, contextual tap. Don't use any of that. That's not really something you want to mess with. And depleted ammo switch, leave that on enabled. Basically what that means, anytime you run out of ammo, it'll swap weapons for you. Your slide behavior, you want to change this over to tap, because what it's going to do is, so that way you don't have to hold your circle button or your paddle, whatever type of controller you're using. You can just leave this on tap. You tap the button once and it slides. That way you can actually slide cancel, which is very nice. And pretty much all these settings, vehicle camera recenter enabled, automatic sprint disabled, unless you really want automatic sprint. I don't like it. I just leave it off because it can actually get you killed. Auto move forward, keep it on enabled. Now moving on to your general, this is where they added a few new settings that a lot of people aren't aware of. So pretty much all these settings I don't really touch. Brightness I leave on 50%, film grain at 25. You want to keep the film grain low. You can even turn it down to like 10% or even 0 if you really want to, but I just leave it at 25. Keep the subtitles on, because you can kind of tell what's going on in the match if you're able to see the subtitles for yourself. So if someone calls in a UAV, you'll be able to see that at the bottom, or if your teammate calls out, you'll be able to see the text at the bottom. Language, obviously, if you're different language, change your language. Colorblind, don't mess with this. I don't like messing with it, so don't touch it. The big one here, world motion blur and weapon motion blur. I don't care how much you guys like motion blur, turn it off. Just completely turn it off, because motion blur is only in the game so that way you can make the game look a little bit more pretty. You don't need it in the game. Just leave it off. You don't need it at all. All it's going to do is make things worse, and when you try to drastically move your right thumbstick and look around the map, it's going to blur the screen, and you don't want to do that. You want to be able to see everyone across the map. And your mini map, this is a brand new setting that they added. Before, you used to just have the standard round mini map. You want to change this over to squared. Believe it or not, squared actually gives you more coverage of your map, and you're actually able to see more of what's going on around you. So definitely change your mini map over to shape, so that over to square, so that way you'll be able to cover more of your mini map. You're able to see more of what's going on, and it makes for a much better experience. I'm a classic Call of Duty player, and we've been using square mini map for pretty much since Call of Duty started. So definitely switch this over to squared. Minimap rotation, keep that on enabled. That's going to keep the minimap moving around whenever you're moving around, so keep that on enabled. Text chat, keep it on. Profanity, it's up to you if you want to see it. And disassembled gourd, yeah, I just leave it on enabled. It's entirely up to you if you want to keep that. And last but not least, your audio mix, I keep this on home theater. If you have a headset, I recommend keeping this on home theater. You could try boost. What this is going to do is this is going to boost up the audio of very low bellowing type sound, so when someone throws a grenade, you're gonna hear it across the map. I recommend leaving this on home theater, because sometimes these things get pretty loud, especially when you have a headset. So if you don't want to deal with those massively loud noises, keep this on home theater. But if you want to be able to hear pretty much everything, footsteps, grenades, claymores going off, put this over on boost, or even boost high. Those are some good settings there. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much going to do it for my best settings video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you guys are new, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe. We're going to have plenty of tips and tricks coming out for you guys for Warzone, as well as some best loadout tips, because there's going to be a lot of questions in regards to the best loadout when you pick up your loadout kit. But anyways, guys, thank you guys so much for watching. Get in there, enjoy Warzone, give these settings a shot, and if there's something that I didn't mention in this video that you feel helped you out a lot better, leave it in the comments box, and be sure to help your fellow buddies out. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll catch you guys in the next video. It's your boy Carnage, or Primitive AK, signing out. Peace out, fellas. I got trouble in front of me? Possibly two. Body that fool. Good stuff, guys. There might be a third. I don't know. Oh, that lag. Holy crap. Did you guys get that? Oh, in front of me! That guy sounded like a dad gamer. He did not sound happy. They have rage mics on here. You can hear him when you kill him. I'm not kidding. He's like, this guy just got me! In front of you, in front of you! Back up, back up, back up! Body, dude. Absolutely bodied. I'm gonna take this gas mask. Yeah, we definitely gotta play this on PC. This lag is nuts. You wanna save it? You don't really need it. Definitely gotta aim for the head. That's a fact. Oh, I just found a chest. Guy in front of me! Guy in front of me! Got him. Ah! Kill him! I'm down. Yeah, he's dead. He's dead. Thanks for the save.